So let's start 12.2. So the circles shown to the right are congruent. Okay, so that means, so if the circles to the right are congruent, then that means that the areas are congruent, circumcenters are congruent, central angles are congruent, all that. And what else does that mean? That means that this chord QR is congruent to NO. And if this QR is congruent to this NO, then what do I know about its intercepted arc or its chord? The intercepted arc, yeah. That means that this is also going to be congruent to this. So that means I can say that QR segment is congruent. Segment QR is congruent to segment NO, as well as arc QR is congruent to arc NO. So let's see if any of those match. Arc QR NO, length, yep, so it's this one. Okay, so the circles to the right are congruent. All right, cool. So now if I know that they're congruent, that means that this angle is going to be congruent to this one, and that this chord is going to be congruent to that chord, which also means that this arc AB is going to be congruent to DE. And the same thing here. This chord is going to be congruent to this guy, to over here, as well as this arc is going to be congruent to this arc, and this arc congruent to that one. So I could say that, what can I say? I can say that line AB is congruent to segments VW, and I can say that arc AB is congruent to arc YZ, one of those. So let's see which one. Arc AB to YZ. Wait, why'd I put VW? Oh, it wouldn't matter. It's the same thing. VW and YZ are the same. So I could either say this or this. And that's what I have here. Okay, so let's, probably is going to be better if we take a look at what isn't true. So I don't want to confuse you guys. So arc AB congruent to arc YZ. Yeah, that's correct. Line, what is this? Line segment AB. Here, I'm going to put it with this because it's going to be easier with this guy. I like this thing. All right, so AB to YZ, AB to YZ, that's true. AB to XZ, no, that's not true. This is a chord and this is a radius, so this one's wrong. Let's look at this one. AB to YX, AB to YX, no, same issue. AC to YZ, YZ, same issue, just in reverse. So arc AB to arc YZ, okay, that's good. And line segment BC to line segment YZ, nope, there's a radius. This is a chord, so this is the only one that's possible. All right, so this should be extremely easy, right? Okay, when I have two lines, when I have two tangent lines, because this is tangent, right? Because it shows a circle at one point over here, two tangent segments, then I know if they are equidistant to the center, then I know that these two lines, those line segments are congruent. So if this is 7, this also has to be 7, which means that this little piece, this little half piece right there would have to be 7, and this is also 7 because they're equidistant from the center. So that means this whole entire X is 14. Good. Okay. In O, measure AB is 50, so let's write that. Measure arc AB is 50. Well, if the arc is 50, I also know this central angle is also 50. Okay, and CA and BD, CA and BD are also congruent. Okay, so now that lets me know that if these two chords are congruent, that means that this arc and this arc are also congruent. Okay. Oh, is the intersection. Okay, what is CD? So where's CD? So they want to know this. wait, yeah, it's just 50. Yeah, this was just there to throw you off. I don't even know why they had this here, because if this is 50, then this also is 50 because these two are vertical angles. So the answer is just 50. Okay, that was pretty easy. Okay. Is this the same question? No. Okay, so measure angle CA is 160. So not angle arc, measure of the arc CA is 160. And AB is congruent to CD. Okay, AB is congruent to CD, so that means that this chord and this chord are the same too. What is the measure of angle 1? All right, so they're asking me for the measure of angle 1. Oh, okay. So now, since this angle right here, the intercepted arc is 160, then that means for 4, it'll also be 160 because they're what? Vertical angles, okay? So now, now to find, and we know that arc CD, let's give it X, is going to be congruent to AB. So if CD is X, what can we mark as AB? Also X. So now we're going to do 160 plus X plus 160 plus X equals 360. So that's really going to give us 360, whoops, equals 320 plus 2x minus 320 minus 320. That's going to give us 40 equals 2x. So my x is equal to 20. So is my x 20? Yes, it is. So that's the answer. Okay, so let's look at this one. Find the value of x. All right, well, I know, or we should know, that this is just an incomplete diameter, right? Because it goes from the radius. I mean, I apologize. Yeah. It is an incomplete diameter, right? Because if this goes from here to here, right? What if I were to extend this over here? This will be a diameter. And what do I know about a chord that has been cut, that has been intersected perpendicularly by a diameter? I know that it's going to be congruent. So if all of this is 4, I know that this little piece is 2 and this little piece is 2. Okay, so what else do I know? Okay, now, yeah, this question is hard because now I have this piece, I have this piece, and I have this piece now. I know this is 4.4 and this is 2. Now I need to make sure that I draw this invisible what? This is an invisible segment, obviously a C, because it's opposite the 90, but this is also called a what, guys? This is a radius, right? Because it goes from the center to a point on the circle. So if this is a radius, well, wait a minute, what is X? X is also a radius. So if I can find this measurement, it'll be the same measurement as this X. So let's find that. So now let's do C squared equals A squared plus B squared. What's my C? This one. So I don't know it, so C squared. What's my A squared? Let's make A my 4.4 and 2 my B. So what is 4.4 times 4.4? 19.36. So this is 19.36 plus, what's 2 times 2? 4. So now my C squared is equal to 23.36. Yep, so now I gotta find the square root of 23.36. So 4.8. So my C is 4.8, and they want me to round to the nearest tenth, so it should be 4.8, which it is, okay? So the key with this question is like making sure that, remember, you guys can make your own triangles out of nowhere. Remember we're doing the distance formula, and it's like, oh, what's the distance from here to here? You don't just have to calculate the distance, you can make an invisible right triangle. You can do the same thing here, okay? So please don't forget that. Okay. Find the value of X. Okay, once again, if I have a chord that is intersected perpendicularly, then that means that this has been cut up into 2 little pieces. So let's give this piece a value of Y and this piece a value of Y. Okay, So if I find y right here, right? If I find this little piece right here, let's give it a value of y. Well, then this y, whenever I get it, let's say this y is 5, wouldn't this whole x be 10? Because whatever this little piece is, is half of the entire thing. And the entire thing that they're telling us is x. So let's find that little piece. So this is my C, this is my A, and let's make this my B. So 11 squared is 121, 5 squared is 25, plus B squared, right? Subtract 25, 11, 1. This one's going to turn to a 10, it's going to turn to a 0. So I have 86. So B squared of 86. So now I just need to find the square root of 86. So 9.2736. 9.2736. That's my B, correct? But is this my final answer? No, because I want to multiply this number by 2 to give me my entire x. So let's multiply that by 2. So my final answer should be 18.5. And is it? Uh-oh. Let's see if I did something wrong. I feel like I did something wrong with this right here. Whoops. 121 minus 25. Oh, I put 86. Okay. You guys are probably screaming, "Oh, you got it wrong, bro. You can't even subtract." All right, so let's do 96. 96 square root, and I know I need to multiply it by 2, so I get 19.6. There you go. 19.6. Perfect. So you see, we all make mistakes. So if you have your calculator, just use it. Where did I go wrong here? Now I'm curious. This goes to 11. I don't know. It's fine. I'll figure it out. Okay, this question is hard. All right, so A and B are congruent. CD is a chord of both circles. Okay, that's fine. If a radius is 20 feet, okay, so let's write a radius. So a radius would be here, right? So if this radius is 20, CD is 32, well, I know that this entire thing right here is a CD is a chord. Okay, so CD is a chord, okay? CD is a chord. Oh yeah, guys, look, if this were to go onto here, wouldn't this, well, really it's this, right? Because this is the entire circle. Well, if I were to continue this, wouldn't it just be a diameter? So that means what is happening to this chord? It's being bisected. It's being intersected perpendicularly. And if it's being intersected perpendicularly, then that means that that these two pieces are congruent. So it's being intersected, it's being bisected, right? So now what is the whole value of CD? The whole value of CD is 32. So if this whole value of CD is 32, then doesn't this have to be 16? And this has to be 16? Now, I've just made a right triangle, right? Because it's perpendicular. So if I already know this one, I already know this. So let's find that. And if you guys understand your Pythagorean triple, this is just a 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triple. Remember, the 5 is the most important part. So look, what's my hypotenuse? 20. So what did I have to do to get from 5 to 20? I had to multiply by 4. Now, what did I have to do to get 16? I had to multiply the 4 by 4. So now, what does the other one have to do? Obviously, I need to multiply by 4 as well. So this is 12. So that means from here to here is 12. which must mean that from here to here is also going to be 12. So my final answer is 24 for AB. Good. Okay. Oh, that's it? All right, so we're going to finish. So yes, this one's hard. Just make sure we review it. If you want, we can review this one in class as well, but just here so you have some, you can at least ask me questions like, oh, mister, how did you get this? Or how did you get this? Or how did you get this? You can ask me questions like that, but please use this video as reference, all right?